Hello, my fellow limitless, flawless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? It is morning here, and I am freshly waking up. So if you are new here, yeah, I'll show up in my pajamas. I'm not in my pajamas right now, but I will show up looking all over the place if I get a zhuzh. Because when I get a zhuzh, I record. Why? Because every time I record when I get a zhuzh, it always does well because we are all connected through consciousness, and this is probably a message that someone out there needs. So hence why I will record no matter what I look like. So I'm also in the midst of painting my nails. I want to talk about today quantum jumping or quantum leaping. We can call it whatever we want in this community, right? We don't have the rules and limitations of the 3D world. I want to put perspective on what it is and how you can do it at will, and you've been doing it your entire existence. But we just don't think we're doing it because it feels so natural and normal when we're doing it. But that's what we're going to talk about if that interests you. And if you're trying to quantum jump your ass into the reality where you are experiencing joy, you are experiencing, I don't know, the most amazing relationship of your life with the person of your choice. Maybe it's an overabundance of money. Maybe it's you having the best career ever. You getting into the school you want to get. It doesn't matter what you want, but if you want to land in a reality where you get specifically your desire, you're going to want to keep watching my video. Thank you very much. But first, some basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 2 channel memberships. One of them is the one I'm getting ready for. Hence, you see my work bag and my handbag all around me. I go live with my channel members every single week. I have the exclusive lives group. I go live with them on Tuesday evenings around 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. And I have the hot seat group, which I go live with them every single Friday, which today is Friday. I go live with them 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Both of these groups, we go live in a Zoom call, a private Zoom call. It is exclusive to the membership. The exclusive lives group is for zhuzhing, encouragement, boosting us up for our weekly, our manifestation journey. It's where we hear and share other people's successes, and there are always successes. Every single week, someone has something to share on things they've manifested, successes in movement with their, let's say specific person manifestations, money manifestations, health manifestations. We get it all in that group. Every week, there are more than one person wanting to share successes. We also share manifestation tips in that group. It's a zhuzh group. It's a zhuzh. Today's group, which is the hot seat / group coaching, is exactly what it sounds like. You raise your virtual hand in Zoom and to let me know that you would like to get into the Zoom or into the hot seat. And from there, I call people in order of raising their hand, and I pick people who have never gone first. And then from there, we pick the repeats. That group is, you get about 10 to 15 minutes in the hot seat. You can ask me anything you want about your specific circumstances, because we do not talk about circumstances in the exclusives group because we don't want to trigger anybody. That's why the Friday group comes with a trigger warning. If you get triggered hearing other people's circumstances, probably not the group for you. But if you don't mind, let me just say this. If you're someone that can withstand hearing other people's stories and circumstances, more than likely, you're going to get your own questions answered, even if you don't get in the hot seat group, because everyone has you pushed out, my friend. Everyone has you pushed out. We are all connected through consciousness. Okay? Just saying. So there's that. I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Clapper. I would love for you to join me everywhere. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kimberly. Yep, I am always like this. I am always like this. And I'm obsessed with manifestation. I am obsessed with living my life of joy and getting specifically what I want in every category of my life. And I am here to share my journey as well as help you on yours. Yeah, and it's fun. We have an amazing group over here. So I would love for you to subscribe and come back and see me. And to everyone else, please, if you could, give my video a like so my videos can get out to the peeps who are wanting a big change in their life. So I can help them with my big mouth. Okay, let's jump in. So I want to first just give a brief basic bitch definition of quantum jump. A quantum jump is the abrupt transition of a quantum system from one quantum state to another, okay? From one energy level to another, okay? Now that's a quick little boop boop, okay, off of Google. That is not what this video is about. This is about you truly quantum jumping to the reality where you are experiencing specifically what you want, okay? So how do we quantum jump? Now, this is the manifestation breakdown explanation, okay? So bear in mind, when you watch my content, we are not talking science, okay? All right. On this channel, I am very, very adamant about discussing states of consciousness. States of consciousness was introduced to me from Neville Goddard. Now, is he the only person to ever discuss, changing who you are, going through the states? No, he is not. But it's where I learned, it's where it, finally made sense to me was Neville's breakdown of it. And if you're new to Neville Goddard, you might want to pick up a book because Neville is considered like the grandpa of manifestation. But the truth is he was not the only person writing books and discussing and teaching, manifestation, changing our worlds with our minds. He wasn't the only person. I mean, Neville had a teacher too, right? It's just he tends to be the one we discuss the most. That's all that is, okay? But actually, that brings me to a quick other point. There is a part of me that really would love to begin breaking down books and doing it from a non-boring place. Doing it from a non-boring place, trying to kim down some books so that everyone can get on the same page and understand what we're doing with our minds. And I'm going to put a poll up, if I can do it correctly. I'm going to do it right here. I would love for you to let me know. What do you think? Would you enjoy me taking the time? We will go through, I'm going to pick the books. They will always be something manifestation related, obviously. I'm going to break them down, a chapter, a video, okay? I'll briefly read the chapter, and from there we will break that book. We will break the chapter down. We will kim it down. Why do I want to do that? Because I know we all like to hear other perspectives. It makes us feel more safe in trusting manifestation when we hear original written content. And I don't know about you, but in my early days, I really thrived on reading Neville because it made me feel like he wrote this shit, way back when. We're talking 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and doing lectures, things like that. He even had a TV show. It's knowing like he had this message way back when, it solidified my allowance of myself to trust this, to think it's possible, that you can really change your life with manifestation. So I know that's what it did for me. But when I first started all this, I didn't understand Neville. Neville sounded to me like he was talking in hieroglyphics, man. It was hard understanding him. So it took me reading him more than once. And when I say reading him, I am someone who can be very anal retentive. And I read him in order of, when the book / or lecture was done, because I am someone, I want to see the person's evolution. So I was very anal, and I would go from day one that I could find all the way till his very last lecture. So I guess it brought me comfort, but when I didn't understand things, I found it very frustrating. So I was wondering if you guys would like me to do something like that, because I'm going to do more than just Neville. I really want to break down Genevieve Berend as well. Like I said, each video will be a single chapter because we don't want these videos being an hour or so long. At least I don't. You know what I'm saying? We're going to summarize it, break it down, and hopefully help you with your faith in manifestation. I mean, obviously, testing the law yourself is always going to be the best idea to solidify your faith. And why am I bringing up belief and faith? Because it makes the journey easier. When I have been on some really low points on my journey, the month of September of 2022, it helped big time to know I already had a very deep, heavy belief and trust in manifestation. It helped me in my really dark moments. And there were some dark moments, okay? Just saying, there were some dark moments. That belief, that faith carried me through. So I am someone that believes that faith, that belief in manifestation and how you're manifesting, what's the reason behind it, meaning your I amness, it matters. It will be there to catch you if you fall. Or better yet, or another way of saying it is like when you fall out of a favorable state and you're struggling with your 3D, that is going to be the biggest cushion, is your trust, your belief that I don't understand what's happening out here, but I know this works. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so again, the poll, please answer it for me and let me know what you think on that. Let me just read something. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. John 14, 1 through 3. Why? Why did I just read that to you? Because Neville Goddard used that specific quote for a reason. When he's talking about the many rooms, the many mansions, he's not talking about actually rooms or literal mansions or houses like I used to think. Meaning when I was a Catholic, no offense to other people who are still Catholic, but when I was growing up and, we heard that phrase, right? When the priest would read from the Bible, I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have a mansion when I go to heaven. There's going to be a mansion for me. And I'm going to be able to pick any mansion I want. It's going to look exactly what I want because God knows what I want. And everything that I want is going to be in that mansion. I'm so excited to die. Right? That's not what it means. It means states of consciousness. What are states of consciousness? They are versions of you. Versions of me. And what are all these versions connected to? Consciousness. Every single one of us is pure, unadulterated consciousness. Pure, unadulterated consciousness. Okay? Why am I telling you that? Because this is how each one of us is connected to the next person. This is how you are manifesting. This is how, when you are manifesting a specific person, they are getting your affirmations that they believe is their own thoughts. But that is how. That's how that connection happens, because we are all connected to the same one consciousness. And what you believe that consciousness is doesn't matter to me, meaning you can believe it's the universe and that is not going to be a problem. Even though I believe it's God. I believe God is the universe. I believe God is everything. And my definition of God is not a he, she, or it. Out of habit, I sometimes refer to it as a he or a him. It's more out of habit. It's not that I really believe he's a gender. Just saying. See, I just said it again. It's not that I really believe God is a gender. I think God is everything, right? Omnipresent, omniscient. I can't even say those words. But when you choose a state, and for newbies, you are always in a state. You are always believing you are a particular version of yourself, okay? But when you are actively attempting to leave a state and enter into a new one. As you leave this state and enter in the new self, that is a quantum jump. That is you leaving a specific reality, a specific timeline, a specific film roll. However you want to think it is, meaning I don't care if you call it a reality, a film roll, it doesn't matter. They're all giving the same meaning. You jump to the next state. This is why Neville explained it, that we are not manifesting in a straight, linear, stuck with the man construct of time. We are manifesting vertically, jumping. We are not bound by time and space. Consciousness has no boundaries. Consciousness has no limits, no flaws. These human bodies can be limited, can have flaws. However, these limits and flaws are because we as individuals believe we have them. We also believe we are individuals and separate, but we are not. We are all consciousness. Consciousness individualizing itself to have an experience. So every single one of us, the way I like to look at it is, if there is one big disco ball, I see like wires coming out of the disco ball, and every single one of us is connected to one wire. That one wire, that disco ball is the consciousness. Think of it like that. Or think of an octopus. That's the kind of, I think that one's gross. But the disco ball one I like. And I don't know why it's got to be a disco ball. I like fancy, sparkly things. So when we choose to be a new version of ourselves, and we make that decision that we are this new self, you are quantum jumping to that new reality. The thing is it happens so instantaneously, we don't feel it. Now, have I personally experienced an internal shift where I can narrow it down to the millisecond of when it happened? Yes. Do I think everyone has that ability? Yes. Those shifts are happening every time we move to a new state, but we don't always catch them. But I do think it's possible to feel the shift. I don't know if we have that same feeling every single time. I've only experienced it once. So I don't know. And I think because we are all the same consciousness individualized, that anything is possible. We're limitless, right? Okay. So we get so hung up on what we're manifesting and what our 3D looks like. We kind of close the box. We close our mind off to everything else. But manifesting is so much more bigger than what we're giving it credit for. Not only that, we are so much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. We are not bound by time and space of the current reality we're in. We are not bound by that because God, or consciousness, cannot be bound. Consciousness, God, universe, cannot be constricted. It cannot be caged. It cannot be caged. It cannot be stopped. There are no limits, no flaws to consciousness. It is limitless. Think about those words. Limitless. Even science is getting to the place of realizing that, when we have focus on an atom, as we change perspectives, it changes. It changes. As I said, we're not going to go into the science-y. We're not going there. But so science is coming to our direction. But listen, why do you think people who don't believe in manifestation make fun of this? They tease the manifestation community. They call us delusional. I don't give a shit what they call us, because I'd rather be delusional and get whatever I want than be a boring ass bitch in the 3D, really, and be miserable. Frig that. But why do you think they do that? Because they are closed-minded and they are so limited, and they are in the habit of being limited. They are in the habit of being their limited versions of self. You can remain the same self your entire existence. And unfortunately, there probably has been millions of people that never did get the opportunity to wake up. And by that, I don't mean that things weren't put in front of them to wake them up to what they're doing with their mind, but fear and doubt kept them trapped in a version of themselves, and they didn't get to experience the things you and I are now experiencing. And I feel bad for that. That makes me sad. But regardless, if you want to quantum jump to the reality of choice, ask yourself, who are you in that reality? Who are you? What do you want to experience? You want to manifest being in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with a specific person? Well, who is that version of you? Who is it? Define it. Ask yourself, if I had my dream relationship with my person, what would that look like? What would I look like? What would I feel in the inside? What would my world look like? If I wanted to be a millionaire, what does that look like? What do you think you would look like? What do you think you would feel? How do you want life to look? And don't dumb it down. Don't limit yourself with, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if I'm asking for too much. This is God. This is the universe. This is limitlessness. There's nothing too much for your I am. Your I am is the connection to God, consciousness, universe. Use any words you want. Higher power, source, energy, higher self. It doesn't matter. Ask yourself, what do you think it would be, feel, or look like to be the you that had specifically what you wanted in all categories of life? And once you've defined that, begin telling yourself that's who you are. And whether you believe it or feel it in this moment, as you make that decision, as you return to that decision, you quantum jump to that reality. Now, when we fall back, meaning when we fall out of that and we are back to doubting and fearing, we go back, we quantumly back to a limited reality, a version of yourself where you're not getting what you want. Hence why I word it on my channel to return to your decision to be the you that has what you want. That is quantum jumping. It's quantum jumping. You are doing it every time you switch a state, every time. I had my channel membership in between this section, so the background might look slightly different, but I'm just going to summarize. How do you quantum jump? How do you leap into the reality where you are experiencing exactly what you want to experience, where you are living with your desires, whatever they may be? You choose it. You simply choose it. You make the decision to become that version of self, meaning all possible outcomes or all possible timelines exist now. All possible parallel realities exist now. Even science, even physics is joining that direction. So some of us, we get so wrapped up in our circumstances that we dumb ourselves down. We limit ourselves because of circumstances. But the truth is, it's you labeling that circumstance. It's you giving it more meaning. It's you deciding that you are still stuck in a reality where you're not going to experience your desires. When you do this, when you give more meaning to circumstances, and I'm saying obviously a meaning that is not pleasurable or beneficial to your manifestation, you are deciding what reality you are in. You are deciding what state you're in. You are deciding what timeline that you are on. You are deciding that. You're able to make this decision because of who you really are, which is consciousness. It's consciousness. This is a journey of self, but it's a journey of being the self that is living with the desire. So if you're manifesting a specific person, the goal, the idea is to choose to be that you, that self, embodying that state. They all mean the same. Embodying, becoming, being the you that has your specific person in a relationship or whatever it is that you're desiring, whether it's a marriage, just a partnership, it's whatever you're desiring, but you are being that you, fully immersing yourself in it too, if you want to speed things along, truthfully. Living your day-to-day life as if you already are that self, carrying yourself as if you are that new self. It's fully embracing it. That is what moves shit along quick, from my experience. Embodiment is embracing it, believing it, despite circumstances. Your 3D is the projection from within. So whoever you're choosing to be right now, and yes, it's you making that choice. It's because you're choosing a specific version of yourself. That is what is creating or manifesting, projecting the 3D around you. The point of you making that decision and really deciding what that means, meaning the you that has whatever the manifestation is, the you taking the time to really think about what that you is experiencing, what her life or his life looks like. That's you stepping into it, even in that moment. It's you stepping into that reality. That's you tapping into your consciousness and entering in that state. Even if it doesn't feel anything different, even if you don't feel anything different in your body, that is what you're doing. You're stepping in. You're jumping to that reality. Most of us are in the habit of jumping right back and staying an old version of self. Hence why I say, return. Return to your decision to be the version of you who's experiencing your desires. It is that simple. It is that easy. We are fooled by our very embedded 3D world conditioning that it can't be that easy. There must be more to it. There really isn't. I cannot tell you that when I stepped into this belief of how I believe we're manifesting, it has utterly changed my life. I know it works. Who are you choosing to be? It's a choice. Choose. Choose to be the you that's living your desire. Step into it. Immerse yourself in your imagination. Allow yourself to get carried away in a daydream of what your life would look like as the person living with your relationship or with the money or with the health or all of it. Because that version of you exists. And every time you enter in your mind, get into your imagination, you go there. You quantum jump there. And it's as simple as that. And what are some things you could look at to know that you quantum leaped? I should make a separate video, but you will start responding and reacting to things differently. And your 3D might look different. You might notice, maybe subtle, but you might notice little nuances that, hey, I don't think that was here before. Yeah, I've experienced that. You might physically feel the moment you shift too. I've had that experience. But the big one is how you're responding to things, maybe things that you used to be really triggered and upset by. You know, you'll notice that, okay, oh my God, I didn't even respond the way I used to. That would have made me cry, or that would have made me angry. I didn't even act that way. You shifted. Oh yeah, you quantum jumped. But don't quantum jump back here unless this is the here where you have what you want. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.